Worrying about money just stole 13 of your IQ points. Not metaphorically, in a controlled experiment. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how that happens, why it's costing you thousands of dollars every year, and the one shift that makes the first two problems almost disappear on their own. The last one, nobody talks about it, but it's the reason most financial advice completely fails. So grab a seat, let's get into it. Here's where it starts. In 2013, Harvard economist Sendhil Mullainathan and Princeton psychologist Eldar Shafir asked people to imagine a $1,500 car repair bill they couldn't afford. Just think about it, that's all. Cognitive performance dropped immediately, equivalent to losing a full night of sleep or 13 IQ points, the same impairment as chronic alcoholism, from a single financial worry. They called it the bandwidth tax. Your brain runs like a computer with limited RAM. When scarcity moves in, it doesn't ask for space, it takes it. And the resources it takes are exactly the ones you need to build wealth, long-term thinking, impulse control, the ability to weigh trade-offs. Scarcity destroys the tools you need to escape scarcity. That's the trap. Here's the part that should make you exhale. The same researchers studied sugarcane farmers in Tamil Nadu, India, testing cognitive performance before harvest when farmers were cash poor and stressed, then again after harvest when they'd just been paid. Same people, same brains. Before harvest, scores dropped measurably. After harvest, flush with cash, scores came back up. The IQ wasn't gone, it was captured, and that means you can get it back. The practical move here is almost insultingly simple. Set up one automatic savings transfer, $25 a month, $50 if you can. Not because the amount matters yet, because automating it removes the decision from your depleted bandwidth entirely. A 2004 study by Richard Thaler found that automatic 401k enrollment pushed participation rates from 37% to 86%. Not because people learned to want to save more, because the decision was gone. Thaler, who won the Nobel Prize for this work, put it plainly: don't rely on willpower, design systems instead. Willpower fails when you're stressed, systems don't. Okay, that's the foundation. But here's where it gets interesting, and a little infuriating. The scarcity mindset doesn't just cost you mentally, it costs you actual money every single month, in fees and prices the system charges specifically because you're in survival mode. Researchers call it the poor tax. Unbanked Americans pay an average of $196 a year just to access their own wages through check cashing services. Car insurance in low-income zip codes runs $300 to $500 more annually than identical coverage in wealthy ones. Same policy, different zip code. And overdraft fees. Americans paid $15.47 billion in overdraft fees in 2019 alone. The median overdraft transaction that triggers a fee? $24, paid back within 3 days. The average fee? $35. That's an effective interest rate of 17,000%. Economist Matthew Fellows put a number on the whole picture. Low-income households pay approximately $3,000 to $5,000 more per year than middle-class households for equivalent goods and services. That's $250 to $400 every single month. Gone. Not because they spend recklessly, because scarcity locks them into short-term patterns. The payday loan instead of the savings account, the corner store instead of the supermarket, the rent-to-own TV that ends up costing 3 times retail. The tunnel makes the immediate option feel like the only option, and someone is always waiting to charge you for it. Here's what makes that number devastating. A person who invests $200 a month starting at 25 will have roughly $525,000 by retirement. Start at 35? $243,000. Less than half. You don't lose 25% by waiting a decade, you lose more than 50%. Every month inside the tunnel, that gap widens, and it's not linear. The move here is to find your personal poor tax. Pick the top one, the overdraft fees, the payday loan rollover, the corner store habit. Just one. Redirecting a single $35 a month fee to that automatic savings transfer starts compounding immediately. Small, specific, actionable today. If this is clicking for you, hit subscribe. I put out videos like this every week, and the best point is still coming. Alright, this is the one I've been saving. Everything so far assumes the problem is information, that if you know about the bandwidth tax and the poor tax, you'll change. But here's what the research actually found. Information doesn't fix the scarcity mindset, because the scarcity mindset isn't a knowledge gap, it's an identity. Think about people who've lived inside the tunnel. Linda Tirado, who wrote about working 2 minimum wage jobs in America, described it like this. It's like trying to plan a vacation when your house is on fire. That's not a metaphor, that's a neurological state. And the cruelest part, she knew her decisions weren't optimal. She made them anyway. Because when your brain is on fire, you can't hold two thoughts at once, the now and the later. Consider lottery winners. 70% exhaust their winnings within a few years. Jack Whittaker won $314 million on Christmas Day 2002. He was already a multimillionaire. Within 4 years, lawsuits, theft, tragedy, divorce. By 2007, he told reporters he wished he'd torn the ticket up. The money didn't update the mindset. The mindset consumed the money. And this isn't only about people with empty bank accounts. Researchers have documented high earners, $200,000 a year, paralyzed by spending $30 on dinner, hoarding cash instead of investing, feeling perpetually on the edge of disaster regardless of their actual net worth. The balance changed. The identity didn't. That's what makes budgets fail, and financial literacy courses, and willpower. Carol Dweck's research at Stanford showed that shifting someone's self-concept, not their skills, their identity, measurably changed their financial behavior. Not, I'm bad with money, not even, I'm trying to get better, but, I am a person who builds wealth. That's a different category. And identities make decisions automatically, before you're even aware a decision is happening. The Save a Life program in San Francisco tested this directly, pairing small savings challenges with identity reinforcement messaging. They hit savings rates 3 times higher than comparable programs built on financial information alone. Same people, same income, different identity. Here's your third move, and it takes 5 minutes. Write down everything you already have. Not goals, not wishes, present reality. Skills, relationships, time, any savings, even small. A 2019 study in the Journal of Experimental Psychology by Liz Dunn and colleagues found that participants who completed this kind of resource counting exercise before financial decisions showed measurably higher long-term thinking and lower present bias than control groups. The Abundance Audit doesn't change your bank balance. It changes the cognitive state you make decisions from. That one shift does more for your finances than any budget ever will. Because once you're making decisions from abundance, even modest abundance, the automatic savings gets easier. The poor tax habits start breaking. The tunnel starts to open. Here's what to take with you. This was never about willpower or discipline or making smarter choices. It was about a brain doing exactly what brains do under pressure, narrowing